starting off with the McLaren, and I do think Lego's done actually a really good job representing the 2024 MCL 38 here. There's a little hole in the side pod there, but I think it's not too big of a deal. Your McLaren driver, standard symbol, nothing as detailed as what we've seen on the Mercedes 2021 car. Yeah, so that is your MCL 38. And we go to the Scuderia Ferrari SF24 next. Next up, the SF24. But they use that hinge so that it can make that Ferrari shape of the side pod they obviously had last year. These side pods, for me at least, have been pretty pretty fragile. They have kind of come off. And just some basic designs of their suit from last year. And yeah, so next up is the RB20. So here is the RB20. I think I'm not a huge Red Bull fan, and I'm sick of the livery, but I think they've actually done a fantastic job. I think what they've done here with the side pods, this might be the most accurate, or one of the most accurate side pod designs out of all of them, and it hurts to say that. But yeah, standard figure, obviously. Next up, we have the Mercedes W15. Next up, the Mercedes W15. I accidentally rolled it too far there. I do want to say they've done an incredible job. That was a smart way of doing the side pod. I really did like that, and I will say I feel like there were a lot of good build designs. This was really well done, the way they were able to continue that pattern. But yeah, there's your Mercedes driver, blue helmet with just a Mercedes logo, and that is it. No patterns on the suit. Next up is the Aston Martin. Here is the Aston Martin. Same, just everything kind of felt similar. Color green problem. I'll pull up a picture now on the screen so you can see the real car and what this one looks like. You'll be able to tell that they really could have probably used like a teal or something else. I just think this is probably one of the worser ones. Simple patterns, little Aston Martin logo. I like the helmet, but other than that, yeah, no. Not much here from the Aston Martin car. Next up, we will be going to the Alpine A524, I believe. So here is the Alpine A524. One of the things I'll address immediately is this gap. I don't believe that's how it was. I'll pull up a picture of the car so you can see if there was a gap like that or not. But from what I remember, there was not that big of a gap between the engine cover and the rear wing. See, that pink does not match. A little bit disappointing there, but yeah, no problem. Things happen. You're not gonna be able to get it perfect, obviously. Haas. Next up. Next up is the Haas, and that is not a problem. I just completely forgot to put that board there. I've liked what they've done here. I think they got decently creative with what they could do here, you know, doing. But yeah, other than that, standard mini figure for these. Next up here, the V Carbo one. They connected it. So basically, you have that hole right there, and you have that red pin, and this is just gonna slide right on in there. And then at first it'll be like that, and then you're gonna put it down, and that's how they're gonna do the side pod. This thing very fragile. It will come off. Yeah, no, I like it. Looks pretty good. So yeah, and now we go on to Williams Racing. Second to last year, the FW45. The gap, there is a bit of a gap there to the Alpine, like, or similar to the Alpine, but it's not as noticeable. They've done a great job with the Duracell battery, I think. Another simple race suit. And yeah, that is their Williams. And now we go to the Stake F1 team, Kick Sauber. And lastly, here is the Stake F1 team, Kick Sauber. Once again, one block gap there, but it's not honestly too bad. I think they've done a really good job with that side pod. I like looking at it. It's actually a really nice way they did the side pod. I think it's probably one of my more favorite designs. They didn't do a Kick logo. They didn't do a Stake logo for obviously reasons. So they just went with the Sauber logo, which I think is fine because they're called Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber.